Sure. We were actually having dinner when the impact happened, and we listened to the crunch of us hitting the rock and of all the dinner plates hitting the ground and the initial tilt of the boat, and started running out of the place because we knew something bad was happening.
So it was immediate. You knew this was serious. You had no, because we've heard of other people that were watching a magic show, and there was not immediate panic. For where you were, you knew it was serious right out of the gate.
We knew the sound of every plate and every glass hitting the ground and crashing. It was a terrifying sound, and we knew it wasn't normal. And once the boat started to lean, and it didn't stop leaning, we knew we couldn't stay where we were. And my group of friends and I got up and started running out of the dining room at that point.
Where did you go?
We actually got separated as a group. Some of us ran directly to the lifeboats, and myself and another friend ran to our cabin first and grabbed a few essential items before going to the lifeboats.
Okay. Well, what'd you get? What made you go to a cabin instead of the
lifeboat? I don't know what made us go there, but I'm glad we did, because I managed to change out of my formal dinnerware and put on something a little more practical for climbing out of a cruise ship, and I managed to grab a cell phone and some credit cards and cash, which actually helps.
Did you know at that time, I may end up in the water here and I'm going to have to swim for my life? Was that in the back of your mind? A Titanic type thing?
Not really, because the announcements overhead were saying, ladies and gentlemen, this is just an electrical problem. We have it under control. We'll be back up and running in no time. And that message happened several times, and it wasn't until the lean of the ship was so intense that you started to get seasick that you thought, there's no way we can recover from this. And that's when we grabbed life vests and made a run for it.
Okay. So when did you get word from the crew, an announcement that was legitimate in the sense that, hey, this is serious, here's what we need to do? Did anybody on the crew take command for safety's sake?
There was no one taking command. My friend and I were actually already preparing to get into a lifeboat when the emergency evacuation sound went off, which is 7 horns. And we were, along with many other people, already prepared to evacuate at that point. And as you have heard from many other passengers, there was no crew member really taking charge, and so many mixed messages at that point as to what to do.
What was it like getting on that lifeboat? Was it every man or woman for himself or herself?
Oh, completely. And that was probably the scariest point of it all, and the only time I thought to myself, if we're going to die, this is probably the point we're going to die, because it was so chaotic and no organization, and everyone was basically fighting for his or her own life at that point. And the pulley system, they didn't know how to work it very well, and suddenly you would be sitting in the boat and your boat would drop suddenly 5 feet down, and you just didn't know if it would ever stop until it hit the water. It was really terrifying.
Did you really have that thought in your mind that I might die here?
That was the only time I thought, when I was sitting in that lifeboat, basically in the hands of whatever crew was working my lifeboat. I thought well, this might be it. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure what was happening.